Hey guys, coming at you today with something a little different. Just a quick update about what I'm working on this week and thinking about right now. As in fact, I find myself kind of with a little break and just kind of updating you about something that you can actually participate in. So many of you in the blue, if you're already in the bluegrass circles, already know about Lessons with Marcel. If you're not, go check out his YouTube channel. He does some great stuff, guests, and all kinds of stuff. I really like his interviews, especially. But what's really cool, and they've been doing it for the last like year or so, is this thing called the Bluegrass Coalition. And what they'll do is every month or so, they will pick a tune, and everyone gets to vote on it, by the way. But you'll pick a tune, and what will happen is you can record a break or two or however many you want and submit the video for that, and they will take all the videos, splice them together so that you have a nice round of people taking breaks on the same tune. Okay. And he provides all the tools you need for that. Just go check it out, the Bluegrass Coalition under Lessons with Marcel. So this month's tune is called Cattle in the Cane. And I just wanted to introduce the tune for those of you who might want to get your feet wet with this one. I think it's a great tune, but there's some unusual things that I wanted to highlight for you to kind of help you out and tell you what I'm thinking about when I'm playing something like this. Okay. So the tune tonicizes A. Now, I use the term tonicize because oftentimes people say, oh, it's in the key of A, right? And what they really mean is that it's the A major chord is tonicized. Okay. What's cool about this tune, though, is that two main things. Yes, we are tonicizing A. However, if you just think of A major and play the A major scale over this tune, it will not work. And the reason is because the two chords are A major in the A section are A major and G major. So G natural major. Notice I didn't say G sharp, which is usually what's in the seventh note of an A major scale. Okay. So instead, what we have to do for our scale is take that G and play it as a G natural. Now, some of you might know what that is. That's in modal terms, we call that the Mixolydian term, the Mixolydian mode. Okay. Okay. So we're still tonicizing A major, but we have a G natural, in fact, a G natural major chord even. So we got to change our scale slightly. So that's the A section. Okay. We'll come back to that in a second here. On the B section, they change the mode completely. Instead of A major, it goes to A minor. And then the two chords are A minor and C major. So we're very squarely in A minor. However, it's an A minor here. So we still have the G natural and everything too. If you're going to throw an F of any kind, so keep in mind over A major, that F is F sharp, okay? Which works over that G very nicely and everything too. But in the A minor section, we can still use the F sharp, which is a little unusual than like the natural minor. Okay, so we have to make sure that F is actually sharp if we're going to sprinkle it in at all. Okay, that one's, you got to be careful with that one. So I would recommend A minor pentatonic. If you know it, A minor, what we call blues scale, just throw the blues notes in over the pentatonic. What's cool about this and what I'm experimenting with is actually I've noticed with you can think of it purely as Mixolydian and then minor, a minor mode there. You can interchange them, even bringing in the minor stuff over the major stuff, which will give you a nice bluesy tune. In fact, what I'm kind of working with is A major. And then when the G comes, instead of playing kind of the G stuff, which I kind of made it just modal right there, but I put the C natural in and the F natural in there, only over the G. Okay, so what I'm kind of doing there, and one way you could think about it is exactly what I just described. Another way to conceive that though is from A major, you play the normal A major stuff. When it goes to the G, you can actually go to you can overlay A minor. You could kind of start thinking A minor, and it gives you that bluesy sound, but it's over the G, which is an even more unusual bluesy sound. So it's a way to kind of overlay something basic two basic things together that give you an interesting sound. Now you do have to be careful, and again, I'm experimenting with this. You should experiment with this kind of stuff too. See which notes work and what don't work to your ears. Okay, but I'm trying to get some outside sounds in there, some color tones, blue notes, all kinds of things, chromaticism. Okay, so I'm really trying to expand the palette to this tune because I think it really calls for that with the modal interchange between major and minor, the mixolydian mode being used instead of just the pure major. So there's a lot of wiggle room in this tune, which is why I think it's a really great one to experiment with and to, again, jump in. If you've never done this before, I highly recommend trying out the Bluegrass Coalition. Those are a few thoughts. Again, I'm just swirling around right now. This is my first time. I've never even played this song before. I've heard it, but never really explored it before. So I'm really glad this gives me an opportunity to jump in and learn a tune that I'm not as familiar with. So I hope you do the same. Feel free to comment or reach out with questions if you want any or want any more in-depth lessons on this. I'll probably pop in here and give some more specific ideas here and how I'm approaching and thinking about things later on. But for now, I'll sign off and pick on.